Hello everyone, it's I, Blondie. We're going over our next wrestling game here, which is going to be WWE Legends Wrestlemania. Now, this came out in, I think, 2008, I believe, and it came out along the side with WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. And fun fact about this game, if you have the actual disc of SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, you can actually import the entire roster, which is super duper funny, because honestly, the biggest appeal for this game is the roster. It's pretty cool. I mean, you have everybody from, Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, Stone Cold, Ultimate Warrior. You have people that aren't in as many games, like the Legion of Doom, Big Boss Man, Big John Studd. You have Greg the Hammer Valentine, Roddy Piper. There's a lot of really cool wrestlers in this game. And how the game's appeal is when it released, it was going to be like, oh, you can relive, redefine, and rewrite these Mania match things, right? Well, first off, this game also has a few wrestlers that aren't in any WrestleMania mode on this, or as some might not even have any Mania matches that I know of. Like Coco Beware is in the game. He doesn't have a match in that mode. Kamala's in the game. Doesn't have a match in the mode. But it's kind of cool to see some of these characters. But the game itself is okay. I would say that if I had to give this game a title, it would be the biggest letdown of an overhyped wrestling game ever. So the game itself is not bad. It's just they tried to do too many mechanics for a formula for a wrestling game that didn't meet it. First of all, this game has health bars, which hasn't been a thing since like 1999 in pro wrestling games up to this point. So that's already kind of barbaric as it is, right? Because as you know, THQ and all of them have had way other better ways to determine damage and stuff like that. It also has weird power-up things, like you can increase your speed or increase your attack, and it also has like this level-up system where basically when you do a good chain of sequence of moves, you level up your character. It's like a super meter, but when you level up, it increases your move damages and changes your moves. It's very bizarre. It also has quick time events, which when you're playing against somebody or the bot, you both can do them at the same time. It's so fucking weird. The game also has just a block button, which I hate in wrestling games, and I've probably mentioned that before, and counter. Matches can go pretty quick, for sure. They can last as long as a minute, or I don't know, it depends on the mode, but like, okay, because we'll go over modes here real quick. So you have your single, triple threat, there's a Royal Rumble mode, there's Steel Cage, Ladder, Hell in a Cell, and basically, like I said, it goes to the first 15 WrestleManias, so it goes over, quote-unquote, all the best matches of it, or basically just everybody they could have in the roster. So like you have, Stone Cold versus The Rock at WrestleMania 15, you got like, Undertaker against Big Boss Man's also at WrestleMania 15 on that. You have matches with like Hulk and Andre at WrestleMania 3. One thing though, surprisingly enough, they have like matches like Bret vs Piper and a bunch of these other like really honest to god classics. But if you look at history here, the weird part is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is obviously one of the best in-ring workers ever in the history of time. Doesn't get enough credit, but he's not in this game. But he appeared in 2009 at a pay-per-view against Chris Jericho. So he probably just missed a time window to get rights to his name. But it's noticeable that a lot of the matches, so when you win all the objectives, right? You go through, you relive, you read on, you do all these modes. And how I'll break this down is you relive, meaning you do the match exactly how it was, quotes, with cutscenes and stuff. Redefine, meaning you change the outcome. Or is that right? No, that's rewrite. Duh. Relive. You do the match. Rewrite. You change history. Redefine just adds stipulations. So, like, you're gonna have a cell or whatever, right? I would say that it's kind of a letdown. I mean, even at that point, wrestling games have already had, like, better cutscenes for that kind of stuff. It's not bad. It's just, the only reason I would show this game to people is if they're, like, a generation or two before me as a wrestling fan, and they really want to play as, like, Coco Beware or Sergeant Slaughter, or wrestlers that aren't in a lot of other wrestling games. Even now, up to this point, like, some of these guys, like, can't find a ton of games with Rick Rude in it, but he's awesome. He's in there, you know. They have a few managers. They have Bobby the Brain Heenan. They have Mr. Fuji, Paul Bearer, the classic, important managers, honestly. But yeah, once you do all these, it shows you a cutscene. When you complete it, there's a create a character mode. I have every achievement for this game, and I'm proud of it, and also not proud of it. It's really funny. Character creation is kind of barbaric as far as movesets, but as far as like character creation, you got I got Nappa, Guile, and Paul. What do I want here? But yeah, overall, the game is very meh. I mean, like I said, it's probably would be the biggest letdown to a wrestling game I've ever played. The roster is the most appealing part about the game. It doesn't have a lot of modes, even compared to wrestling games of this type at this point. And the problem with, because WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, because this game just has all the legends on a separate game, SmackDown vs. Raw 09's roster suffers because of that. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because I have both games. I'll go over SmackDown vs. Raw 09 some other time. But I think Legends of WrestleMania is okay. I think it's good for like a one and done to show how goofy the game is, but I wouldn't like want to go out of my way to play this. Like, I got every achievement for it just for the meme. Like, that's why I did it. All right. Into verdict time. I mean, the game's pretty simple. I think it's only max like 3 or 4 players. It does a triple threat mode, but I don't even know if it's more than 4, honestly. But the game's okay. I think there are absolutely better wrestling games on the 360. In fact, I think one of the greatest wrestling games of all time is on the 360, but we'll get to that another day. I think it's okay. I think it has the funny nostalgia pull, and some of the quick time events are really funny to goof off with. So I do think there's like a weird kind of funny appeal to this game. I would never want to do a wrestling tournament for this game. It's fucking just it's so fucking goofy. However, 1 to 10, even factoring in the lack of modes, but the funny roster and not even necessarily counting the extra roster, because not everybody's gonna have a copy of SmackDown vs. Raw 09, because you can only do it through the disc. There's no DLC for this game that I know of. I would say 1 to 10. That's tough. I would say it is kind of funny, but kind of like, I guess it depends on if this person has played this game before. So you know what? Let's do that. If someone has played this game before, it's gonna be like a 3 or 4 out of 10. Like, yeah, unless they really want to play this goofy game again, no. But if they've never seen the game before, it'd probably be about a 6, because I want them to kind of experience it one time just because it's funny. And the roster's the most appealing part of this game. Like, if you got somebody that's like a Gen X or before that, they're gonna love the roster for sure. Okay, goodbye. I'm going to leave now. Alright, just prove my point here.